Hey there, it's Clay. And today we're going to be talking about what to say to get your ex to open up emotionally. Now, this is going to be something that, it's going to sound probably a little bit simplistic, but if you understand the core philosophy behind this, it's going to make a lot of sense. This is probably going to go against the grain of, maybe a lot of the other things that you've heard before, the reverse psychology, the mind games, hey, I'm pregnant kind of stuff. I mean, hey, if you're whatever, that'll probably get them to respond, but it's probably not going to have a great and amazing effect on them. True story. I had a client once who actually went out of her way to get pregnant because she thought that it would um, get back together with her ex. Didn't work out so well. Please don't do that. But anyway, um, just wanted to jump in and talk about that. But first, hello, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, without having to get pregnant to get your ex back, without having to use the no contact rule, all to help you get the great loving relationship that you want, because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. Real quick, before we do get started here, this is going to be the last time that you hear me talk about how to get 12 weeks of relationship coaching from us for the price of really 3 sessions. Now, I know you've probably heard about this over the past, several days as we've talked about this. And so I'm not going to belabor this point, but my guess is if you haven't joined us, it's probably because you have some sort of concerns or questions, or you just don't think it's within reach for you, or something like that. And if that's the case, but you do want to sign up, just go ahead and reach out to me. There's a link in the description box for a contact page on our website. Just go ahead and just, reach out to me and tell me what your concern is, and we'll talk you through it. I'll let you know what sort of payment options there are, etc. And I'll let you know how you can, potentially finance this. And ran through some numbers, and basically, you could get this for, $250 a month, or if you take out a certain type of loan. At least when I tried going through the setup myself, it offered me, basically $50 a month. So if you want to check that out, head on over to modernlove.life/contact-us. There's a link for that down below in the description box. You got to start a conversation with me, though, before midnight on June 18th, though. If there's any ongoing conversations that are happening into the 19th or 20th or something, yeah, I'll let you join. But if anyone reaches out after June 18th, sorry, window's closed. I'm not gonna offer this to you. You've had several weeks to hear about this. I'm sorry. But yeah, you have to reach out and start a conversation with me so that we can figure out whether or not this is a good fit for you or not. But anyway, let's get into this. So how is it you can get your ex to open up emotionally? So we have to start by looking at what needs to happen for them to open up emotionally. Now, opening up emotionally is about, in a certain respect, sort of trust. It's also a certain respect about safety. It's a certain respect also about just feeling as if the other person really genuinely wants to create that connection with you. So this actually goes in the face of a lot of the mind games. Mind games will tell you that it's about power, that you have to make them fear losing you, that they have to, stay up at night dreading the thought that they're going to lose you or something like that. And hey, if they're going to dread the thought losing you, it's because they actually do value. It's because they actually do feel safe talking to you. It's because they actually do feel as if the two of you have trust, and as if you actually do want to listen to them, etc. You don't have to do that. You just have to create the right context in the first place. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So how do you do this? Well, if your ex is very closed off to you, if they're very tense around you, if they're very terse around you, if they're just giving you, 1 or 2 word or 1 sentence answers when you text them or when you talk to them, and they're just not opening up, they're giving you very surface level responses, then in my mind, there are a couple things that we need to address. First of all, there could be too much romantic pressure. That's to say, they think that everything that you're doing is to try to get back together with them. And, maybe that's been fairly accurate if you look at your past behaviors. Often after a breakup, people will be in damage control mode, and they'll do a lot of begging and pleading and all that sort of stuff. So maybe that's not unfounded, right? But, if you're here watching this video, you probably know that that's not the best strategy. Most people figure that out pretty quickly. And so you probably know that, but they don't necessarily know that you know that. So they're still probably bracing for another session of begging and pleading and all that sort of stuff. They could also not really trust you as well too, because again of maybe certain things that have happened. Maybe you've broken their trust somehow. Maybe they think that you have this ulterior motive of trying to force them into some relationship that they don't want to be in or something like that, and they are trying to keep that distance because they're worried about what your agenda might be. um, or perhaps they're just used to seeing you as being on the opposite team due to some hurt that has happened between the two of you, maybe some betrayal, maybe some things that have happened in the past, etc. And so what you really need to say to get them to open up emotionally is basically a same team conversation. You need to bring them onto the same team as you so they don't feel as if they have to be guarding against you, so they don't feel as if the two of you are on opposite teams with one another. And this also, we talk about this, has baked into the cake a form of reducing that romantic pressure so that they can then surrender themselves to actually talk to you in a more direct sort of way. Okay. So, what this might look like is, um, let's just say I'm talking to, let's see, who's in the comments. Okay. Jade, I'm just going to use your name. I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to pretend I'm talking to someone named Jade. Jade, hey, Jade, I know that it's hard to figure out how we're supposed to fit into each other's lives right now, now that we're broken up. I get that we broke up for all the reasons that we did, and I'm, not trying to change that. But, you are someone that I've spent, the past 3 years of my life with, and I'd really hate to just, throw it all away for the challenges that we had. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to force you into some sort of relationship that you don't want to be in or anything like that. You're just someone that I care about and I want to keep in touch with. And I just want to, keep that friendship alive. Is that something you'd be willing to do? Would you be willing to be friends with me? And of course, if you ever feel too much pressure, if it ever seems too weird or awkward or something like that, just let me know and we'll work it out. And likewise, if I ever feel as if things are getting too off the rails or something, I'll let you know and we'll figure it out. Does that sound like something you can do? Can we be on the same team here? And that simple conversation can get your partner onto the same team as you and to get them to hopefully start opening up to you and also to reduce the romantic pressure between the two of you. Um, this then creates a context between the two of you where the two of you can start to communicate more clearly. Okay, so after you have this same team conversation, you can then lead by example and start to demonstrate to them what it means to be on the same team, what it means to connect better with one another, what it means to build the dynamic and build the emotional connection with one another. And so this is where you can start getting into some of those rapport building skills by asking conversation deepening questions in your, casual conversations with them. These would be questions like, what was that like for you? How did that make you feel? Tell me more about that, etc. You don't have to use those three things, but those are good starting point. You can obviously adapt those to whatever's going on for you. And what you're doing here is you're trying to get them to share more about things that are going on in their life. So if they've just gotten home from work, oh yeah, how was work today? Tell me more about that. Now you can start to get more details from them that starts to pull them, whether they know it or not, into more of the emotional level of connection. From there, you can meet them at that emotional level of connection and start to build more emotional rapport. This is how you can get them to open up. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, what if they're still resistant to things like that? Um, the 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 way that you respond if they're resistant to um, connecting on the emotional level after you've had the same team conversation is to pull the focus and put it back on anchoring back to the same team conversation and say, hey, do you remember back in June when we talked about being on the same team conversation, or back when we talked about being on the same team? We know I meant that. And from where I'm sitting, it seems like you're a little bit uncomfortable talking to me right now. So I don't want you to feel that way. So if you do feel uncomfortable talking to me, let me know and we'll go ahead and sort it out and we'll figure it out. But if it's just something else, if you've just had a weird day at work or if you're just tired or exhausted or something like that, then that's fine too. But just let me know so that I don't have to guess any longer. Anyway, that's what you do to get your ex to open up more to you. Okay, that's what you do to get your ex to open up emotionally to you, and that then can serve as a good starting point to take the conversation to a better and deeper sort of place. Anyway, once again, if you do want to learn more about the coaching offer, you probably have heard about it. I'm guessing if you haven't signed up, then it's because you have some questions, you have some concerns, or maybe you just don't think it's right for you. And if that's fine, okay, no worries. But if you have been holding off because you just don't think you can afford it, or because you have some questions, or you're not sure if it would work for you, or something like that, just let me know. And use that contact form over at modernlove.life/contact-us that is down in the description box below. And we'll start the dialogue. I'll talk to anybody who sends me a message before the end of Father's Day, before the end of June 18th. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump over into the questions that people are talking about today. Start with the super chat that we have here from Kazaya. Says, "Hey Clay, it's me again. Love your views on relations and getting your ex back. So thanks. Thank you. I have a question if you have time." Yes, that's what I'm here for. Um, let's see. Yeah, looks like we got a goofball here in the comment section. I'm just gonna go ahead and boot this guy out here. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you a moment to just gonna go ahead and give you a moment there to go ahead and drop your comment. Okay, yeah, there we go. My ex has been ignoring me for about a month now, and I've been working on myself. And last week, I sent him the "I'm okay being friends" text. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure if that again, I'm not sure exactly what the content of that text was, but um, you can go ahead and model it sort of roughly after what I said earlier on in this conversation. That's usually the ideal way to do a same team conversation. But I'm not sure exactly what you said when you agreed to be friends, but that is probably a step in the right direction in terms of reducing the romantic pressure between the two of you. Um, you say that he ignored it and took our photos down from his social media, but I guess the photos are still on Facebook. Okay. So you sent him the message that you're okay to just be friends, but he has not responded to it, and then he took down photos from online. Okay, so I would be curious as to like exactly what you sent him. So if you're still able to type that out, I'd be curious what you did say. Um, anyway, I'm just giving him space, but if he still ignores me, what should I do? Seems like he is trying to push me away, um, the best that he can. Yeah, again, I don't know what you said in that text message, but I would probably model that as closely as possible to the same team example message that I did with Jade. Thank you for indulging me with that, Jade. I'm sorry, but just go ahead and model it off of that one. I think that's probably going to help you. Perhaps maybe more than what you said. Again, I don't know what you said, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, that's what I'd go ahead and start with. Not sure if you're still typing or not. I'll give you some time to finish typing that. While we do that, let's go ahead and jump on over to Jade. Jade says, "Just popping to say thank you for all your videos and your hard work." Well, thank you very much, Jade. I do appreciate that. TG says, "Can't really talk when we both avoided each other when we exchange our sons." Yeah. I mean, I'd work through that. Um, if you have a kid together, then yeah, you want to at least be civil with one another, have the same team conversation to get on the same page about at least doing the right thing for your child, and that I think could start to open the doors to having more of an amicable friendship, which could take you from maybe test drive to at least riding the dragon or something. TG says, he avoids talking to me because I think he feels guilty about jumping into a rebound with his ex, high school sweetheart, within a week. So I have a high anxiety talking to him. I mean, you're just going to have to push through it. I mean, if he's avoiding talking to you and you're avoiding talking to him, obviously there's not a whole lot happening there. It sounds like romantic pressure on his part. He feels guilty. I guess probably more like guilt rather than romantic pressure now that I think about it. So he probably feels guilty about, the rebound. So what I'd do is I'd just directly address it. Hey, you don't have to hide it. I get it. I know you're in a rebound, or don't call it a rebound, but I know you're seeing so-and-so. Just want to let you know, you don't have to hide it. I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with it, assuming you are. If not, try to get to a place where you can be at peace with it. And I want you to just know that it's okay. I want us to be able to still be good co-parents for our kid and all that sort of, and go into the same team conversation at that point. Um, that's what I think you have to do there, TG. Let's keep on moving along. Um, yeah, we covered all those already. Okay, next up, Susie. My ex is leaving for the US for a year, and we've been meeting lately, friends with benefits, and he seems more comfortable with me. Tried lowering the emotional pressure, as you said, but he doesn't seem to see a future. Yeah, if he's thinking about the future, then that's a concern right there. That tells me there's too much romantic pressure. I'm not sure what you mean by emotional pressure. I'm maybe you mean romantic pressure by that. If that's the case, then okay. But we want to have an emotional connection with someone, so I'd get clear on that. You want to really make sure that you're keeping the romantic pressure low. If you keep the romantic pressure low, you shouldn't be hearing him talking about, yeah, I just don't see a future between the two of us. You should be saying like, hey, who's talking about a future? I just want to spend time with you. I want to connect with you. I know you're going to the US, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. And then at that point, you can refocus in on the emotional connection. Okay, there, Susie. Let's finish up Susie. Then we'll jump to a super chat from Jennifer. Susie says we had different religions. That's why we broke up 2 times, but he always comes back and we both don't know how to let go. It's been like that for over a year. Yeah. I mean, religion can be a tricky spot for sure. I worked with somebody in the past who was, I think, Catholic, and her ex was an atheist. And I know it was like a really big deal for her. They were kind of in this process of moving towards getting married and everything. And she, really wanted to have the whole, like church wedding and everything like that. He was totally secular about it and all that. And she was just like, gosh, am I just going to be that one person that goes to church by herself? And, he's just like not going to come with me and all that. And, they worked through it. They got through it, and they ended up getting back together. And they did have the church wedding. And she seemed really happy in the photo that she sent me. Anyway, before we move on, let's check in with Keziah again. He says, basically apologized for my past actions in the I'm okay with being friends text. I told him I feel like it would be silly to lose our connection. Asked him to let me know what he thinks when he's ready and would love to catch up. P.S. I've been watching so many videos. You were in my dream the other day. I'm sorry about that. Maybe. Thanks for pronouncing my name right. Yeah. I actually have a nephew named Isaiah, so that I would guess it's like that, but with a K instead. Anyway, yeah. So if you've already done, so basically what you said in the text message is, hey, I'm sorry for some things that happened in the past. I think it'd be silly if we just threw away our connection over everything that happened in the past. Let me know what you think. And when you're ready, I'd love to catch up. Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. You want to also frame things in a way where it's easy to say yes to it, where it's easy to say yes. And this can be tricky, especially for women. I'm not sure if you're a woman. I'm unfamiliar with this name, but you have flowers as your profile picture, so that would lead me to guess that you're a woman. Many times women are accustomed to letting the guy take the lead and say, yeah, let's get together on Friday or something. And that does make sense in a dating scenario. But if you're not dating, I mean, you aren't dating. You're trying to save your relationship. There's a big distinction between the two. So you have to understand that might make sense in a dating context. And he probably will take more of the initiative once you're more on an even keel emotionally speaking with one another. But for now, you have to be willing to take the initiative with this. You have to make it easy for him to say yes to it. Okay. So rather than, yeah, whenever you're ready, let's get together. Now he has to think, okay, well, am I ready? If I am ready, like, what are we going to do? And when are we going to do it? And like, am I available for it? And is she available for it? And all that sort of. And then there's all these questions that could go on in his mind. So you want to, instead of that, just try to make it really easy. So you say, yeah, can we be on the same team? In that little thing I went through at the beginning of this video, I asked a very direct yes or no question. Can we be on the same team? Are you cool to be on the same team? Or something along those lines. Similarly, when you ask your partner to meet up, you want to frame it the same way too. Yeah, I'd love to be able to go check out this new place that just opened in town. Are you free to go there on Thursday night? That's something that's easy to say yes to. He doesn't have to sit there and think about, well, when should I do it? Am I available then? Well, I don't know. I might have to work then and all that sort of stuff. Just make it really easy to say yes to. So that's I think probably going to be the next move is to perhaps revisit your text message, see if it really has all of the qualities of the fresh start message, or not fresh start, but the same team conversation in it, and then just make it easy to say yes to. Um, Moving along. We have Jennifer says, "I appreciate you. You're wonderful. I have a question." Well, thank you for helping me out with my low self esteem today. Um, Scrolling. Oh, there's the question. Okay. Yes, we were at New Beginnings. Now back at Crisis Point. Seems that I or I guess I have an emotional hold on my partner by him doing like in our old relationship. And deactivated all of his social media. I heard from other coaches. Is there more? Looks like there's more. There should be more. Um, that this is good, but I don't know. I'm not blocked. I don't know how to talk to him about it or reach out. Okay, so let's review this here. So you were at New Beginnings. Now you're back at the Crisis Point. You have an emotional hold on him by doing like in our old relationship. I don't know what you mean by that. And he deactivated his social media. And you heard from other coaches that this was, again, I don't know what it means to do like in our old relationship. So if you could clarify that, that might help me out. Yeah. So, I mean, like what I would do, I mean, it sounds like he's pulling back or something. Um, I'll give you a moment to see if you can clarify that, but it sounds like he's pulling back or something. So, what I'd probably do is say something along the lines of, hey there, buddy. I'm just going to call him buddy. Hey there, buddy. It sounds like, or it seems like you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable talking to me right now. And, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable about that. So, if you need some space, if you need to think about some stuff, that's totally cool. Just let me know so that I understand what's going on. And, you know, otherwise, I'm just going to assume that that's where you're at. And just maybe talk through it like that so that you can connect the dots with him. And just sort of start with the assumption that you're on the same team. If you haven't already had the same team conversation, if you have already had the same team conversation, anchor back to it and then do something similar to that to see if he's able to step through that door. Yeah, still don't see any follow up. So yeah, I'd probably reach out and just sort of clarify what you seem to be putting together on your end from his behaviors, and see if he's able to give you some clarity about what's going on. Again, I apologize. I don't know what it means by him doing like in our old relationship. Again, I don't know what that means. But anyway, next up we have SM, who says, "Hey Clay, how to manage if his rebound is trying to get back together with my ex? Our emotional connection is good, and we talk almost so your emotional connection is good, but his rebound is trying to get back together with him. So his rebound broke up, and they're trying to get back and they're trying to get back together with him. It sounds like okay, but you and him are connecting pretty well. I feel like I'm competing with his rebound, and it makes me nervous. I'm not sure how to proceed. I've been focusing on emotional connection and being on the same team. Yeah, be on the same team. Stay. Have an agreement with him where it's like, hey, so I guess it depends on exactly where your emotional connection is, but if you're at a place where it's pretty clear that the two of you are attracted to one another and that there's something happening there between the two of you, have a conversation with him and let him know that you enjoy this and that you appreciate this and that you just want him to let you know kind of where he's thinking and or what he's thinking and where he stands on all of this. If the two of you are like actually committed to each other, okay, fine, then definitely have that conversation and definitely let him know that you just want to know where he stands on things. And if he ever has any doubts or concerns or anything like that, to let those be known to you. If you're at maybe some of the earlier stages in this process of reconciliation and maybe you don't have that much of an emotional foundation to stand on, then simply just continue to build that same team dynamic, continue to outshine his rebound in terms of your emotional connection, your empathy, your understanding, sending those positive relationship cues, etc. And that's going to help you stand up. By the way, you should be doing that at any stage in this process, but do that primarily if you're, still rebuilding the emotional connection. If you do have a stronger emotional connection, um, and it's very clear that the two of you are attracted to one another and there's something romantic happening there, then go ahead and just let him know that, hey, I would like to know if you're having any doubts about this or whatever, but I do enjoy this. I do appreciate where we're at and everything else like that. And then if you are at the stage where you're, perhaps getting back together and actually in a committed relationship, have that same conversation, but a little bit stronger. And of course, through all of these different scenarios, continue to lead by emotional connection, standing head and shoulders above his previous relationship and your previous relationship with him, and also, just displaying positive relationship cues in your behaviors. So I hope that helps you out. Next up, we have Marco. Hey, Clay, I need your advice on my situation. Yeah. Drop it in the comment section and we'll see what's going on. Let me just scroll back and see if I missed it somehow. Do not see Marco. Okay, we'll give Marco a moment or two to drop something. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I speak to my ex somewhat daily. I feel as though she gives me hints that she wants me to make a move, but I'm unsure and don't want to feel dumb by doing something I might regret. Okay, so if she wants you to make a move, again, I don't know what that means. If it's like, flirting or something like that, just go ahead and do it. Do it when you think she's giving you one of those hints. Just, go ahead and flirt, go ahead and, put your arm around her, whatever the case might be. And if it doesn't go well, if she turns you down or something like that, just say, "Hey, sorry, old habits die hard," or, "Hey, sorry, it seemed like you were giving me a hint or something. Can't blame a guy for trying," or, something along those lines. And then just immediately move right back into just regular rapport, regular conversation that you're having with her. That's probably the best way to go about doing something like that. Another, like, if it's something different than that, then please let me know in the comment section. But that's what's coming to mind for me. If it's something else, like, talking on the phone or meeting up in person or, something else, please just let me know. But generally speaking, just go for it and just have a contingency plan for if things don't go the way that you want it to, and then just go right back to building emotional connection. And by the way, while I'm waiting for you to hopefully make a response here, when someone turns you down when you flirt with them, or it doesn't go the way that you want, maybe you're thinking they want you to kiss them or something, and you go in and you kiss them and they turn their head and you get the cheek or something like that. Don't think that it's necessarily the end of the world and that she's not interested. It could have just been the wrong timing, or maybe you were just too bold and you caught her off guard or something. But now that you've done that, she's now thinking about it, right? She's thinking, "Oh, wow, he just tried to kiss me. Should I have done that? What would it have been like to kiss him? What should I, did I make the wrong choice by turning my head," or something like that? And now she's thinking about it, which means that the second time, if you do it a second time, if you go back, again, when the timing is right, when you think you're getting that cue or something like that, she might be more receptive to it because it's been on her mind more explicitly now. So chances are good, if you try it a second time, it might go over better. Anyway, Marco says, we met up sometime earlier, or sometime either in public or at her house, or we meet up in public, either at public or at her house. And I feel as though we have a connection that was never lost. She teases me many times whenever we meet up and hints at things that we never did when we were together. Yeah, just what I'd say is, like, yeah, we never did do that. I've always wanted to do that with you. Are you free to do that? Next month, or I don't know, whenever it makes sense, whenever the thing is. I just go ahead and just say, "Yeah, you're right. We never did that. And then I always did want to do that. What do you think? For old time's sake, do you want to go and do this thing? I'll make it happen," or whatever the case might be. Couldn't hurt. Again, it couldn't hurt. Anyway, everyone, once again, start a conversation with me if you're interested in our coaching program. Do it before the end of Father's Day, before the end of June 18th. And we can keep that conversation going about whether or not it makes sense for us to work together or not. You've probably heard me talk about, our new coaching thing for the past couple of days here. So I'm not going to belabor the point. If you haven't signed up, it's probably because either it's not right for you, fair enough, that's cool. Or you do want it, but you're just not sure if it's right for you, or it seems like it might maybe be right for you, or maybe the price seems a little bit steep or something like that. Um, if that's the case, just reach out and let us know. We can maybe negotiate something. We can figure something out. I can answer questions to find out if it's right for you or something. But just get in touch and we'll talk about it. Anyway, thanks so much. Take care and have a great weekend.